I will shortly, bro. For sure, I will. It's almost that time. So don't tempt me with a good time, buddy. Do not tempt me with a good time, my brother. How you doing, man? How's the cars coming along? Figured I'd come and say what's up to y'all. I haven't just kind of had a hangout for a few minutes for a while, testing the internet, etc. So we're having some issues. Our DirecTV and stuff's not working, but I'm live. We're good. How does the stream look? It's all right. Who else is in here? We got 5 people up in here saying what's up. Only one chat and talking, but yeah, I will definitely in a little bit here. Like this. 1 second here. Get everything set up properly. Been raining every day in Florida. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not. That's not the Florida. Well, actually, that is the Florida I know of. Usually, they say it rains like once a day in Florida. That's what they say anyway. Now, I've been in Florida enough that I know it doesn't rain every day in Florida, but that's kind of that's what people say. That's what people like to say, that it rains daily in Florida. So yeah, it's just kind of a quick little impromptu. I didn't know. I'm just trying to see if anybody would pop in here, testing the quality. We can hang out. We can make it. We can make it what it is. We can definitely make it whatever we want to make it. So, people want to interact for a little bit, we'll hang out for a little bit. If people don't, besides Alex, and I guess me and Alex is just going to chat, and we're just going to hang out and call it how it is. Again, supposed to do an auction this week for Paul, but Paul's been dealing with some medical stuff, so he got kind of pushed back, and I really honestly wasn't feeling myself doing like an auction or getting things set up and prepared because I'm getting ready for a long weekend. We're going to be heading up to the cabin here tomorrow afternoon. So I got tomorrow morning to work, and it's basically it. Me and the lady went out and had to pick up a couple things late afternoon. So we went and stopped and had a couple cocktails and just had some good time. And I figured I'd pop in here because for some reason our TV decides it doesn't want to work, DirecTV and whatnot. So I wanted to test the stream because it's trying to say there's no connection, which everything's connected. So I don't know. It's got to be something on the DirecTV end, but whatever. That's how it works. That's how it rolls. That's how it goes. So, but yes, Alex, like I said earlier, shortly it'll be almost time for that. I know it's like an hour. You're an hour ahead of us, so you're at like it's like 8:15. It's just 7:15 here. Usually like to do them around 8:00 or so. So, but I'm waiting for NFL. I know, man. Me too, bro. I am so jazzed. I'm so excited, and I got to start talking to the boys about doing the Playmaker preseason podcast. We're gonna have. I'm pretty excited too because we are actually gonna have. It's 8 a.m. We're gonna have. We're gonna have Chef Marty join us as well. That's Anthony Pittsburgh's boy. He has in all of his videos, usually opening ripping product. He's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to football, NFL in general. He's pretty good with like the top picks, etc. So I think it's going to be good. He already committed and said he would join. He would definitely join us. So I'm pretty excited, looking forward to that. We'll obviously have Brady, which I can always appreciate what he has, his insight on everything. Balls always comes through with stuff. And then our boy Nate. So, and then anybody else that may want to join us, and then we're going to be doing it. We're going to try to do it weekly. We're not necessarily going to go game by game. I think we're just going to really drill on top games, top highlights, etc. And I'm sure your Jags will be right in the mix. So yeah, if they don't make the playoffs this year, like after last year, getting in there and doing what they did, and the pickups they've gotten in the offseason, I don't know what to tell you if they can't make that happen. I honestly don't know what to tell you. Like, well, our quarterback does last all season. Kirk Cousins hasn't been hurt. You realize that, right? In fact, there was actually a very fun stat that I read the other day. And Kirk Cousins always makes the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in most good stats that they drill on with quarterbacks. Do you know that him, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen are the 4 quarterbacks in the last 4 seasons? I want to say that have thrown for at least 16,000 yards and have thrown 120 touchdowns. Take that to the bank and smoke it. I'm telling you, everybody that always wants to ride Cousins, I get it. He hasn't won a championship, but there isn't a quarterback that's won a championship for us. So what are we talking about here? We've had some decent quarterbacks in our organization throughout the years, but it takes more than that. Like last year could have been a possibility if we actually had a good defensive coordinator and a proper defense that played properly. The problem is Cousins can't do. It's just like Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was in the same boat, same position. Matthew Stafford could not win a championship in Detroit because he did not have a defense. Period. No defense.
Period.
So he always had to play back.
That would be period.
Here comes the boss checking up on me. Warren Moon was your best quarter. We didn't. Oh, yeah, we did have Warren Moon for a split second. Randall Cunningham. Well, there's more people than that. He's just the one. Look at his first comment. I didn't even say anything. I said soon. But Randall Cunningham, obviously Favre when he came over after the Jets, Packers, Jets, Kabashel. What? Oh, you better get him on. Do it. Go video him. Go video him. Go. Trying to get her to video the dogs. Anyway, but we've never had an issue with Kirk Cousins as far as his dependability, as far as being healthy. He's always been a healthy quarterback, and that's typical for a pocket passer like he is, right? A lot of pocket passers are they typically stay healthy, right? They get mauled a little bit inside in the pocket. They get slammed down on the ground. The reality is they're not running, they're not sprinting outside, they're not doing a lot of things that are going to lead to tearing an ACL, knee injury, what have you. So that's one thing. You just straight edibles or just Toki. I don't. Yeah, it's just pretty much balls. Pretty much it's just the gummies. Gummies at nighttime. The nighttime is the right time. I'm not gonna lie to you though. I did have a couple happy hour cocktails. So the old lady wanted to stop at one of our spots. We had to go run and grab a couple things. She's like, we should just stop at Chatter's for a little bit. And you know what that led to? Well, we'll have one drink. And I had about 5 or 6. And I ate like after already. So anyway, that's where that's at. Dabs, he does. No, I don't. I actually don't do dabs. Just got back from Michigan. Balls, what was up in Michigan? Balls, you want to join me for a little bit? For 10 minutes, 15 minutes? You want to fire up the thing? I can send you a link. Don't drink, he says. No, Balls should not drink. Balls should definitely not drink. I actually, you know what? I don't mind it every once in a while. Have a couple and then do a gummy. It's not always the worst. So I'm gonna send Balls a link. Let me see here. See if I remember how to do this. It's been so long since I brought anybody on. Let's see. And by the way, Balls, I don't know if you got a dealio or not about your package is on the way. I'm not sure if you did or not. Link. Sometimes I just type people's names in, like my shipping thing I've saved with everybody's stuff, and whether I populated the populated the email in there for updates or not. I don't always remember. Usually, if it's like somebody new or first time buyer, I'll make sure that it's in there. But there are times where it's not always. So, got cows, but don't trust eating the shrooms. Man, shrooms are. I mean, a lot of people these days. My sister and brother in law was actually they met him, Scott. They met him through they met him through my sister's best friend Gail. She had gotten cancer and she passed like probably about a year and a half ago now. But Scotty, who was her husband, they had kids. He's like a crazy, super smart dude, like big into like crazy computer, high end, weird shit, like makes big money doing like IT, like high IT stuff. Very, very, very intelligent. But he does like a lot of microdosing with mushrooms. Like that's his main thing. Like that's what he does, but he doesn't abuse it. Like he does microdosing. And a lot of people talk about how microdosing can be very, very beneficial to you, where you're not doing crazy amounts of it. But I mean, I've done them before years ago. So computer science degree, probably something like that. I got you, bro. I sent it. Balls. Oh, you're already with us. Never mind. What up, bro?
Well, what's up?
I don't know. So we're gonna start with the first team. No, I'm just kidding.
Run
Like
it.
we're doing the preseason NFL, me and you. To catch you off guard real quick. Well, what's going on, man? How the hell you been? How's
Shit,
the
man.
how's the weight loss journey going? Still good?
Nah, I've been slacking on it big time.
Why? Because you
Just
gamble on you sports bet now, so you don't have time for that working out stuff, or what?
just been working a
Okay.
bunch. So
Yeah.
it's that and like between that and the kids, I
Yeah.
got Marley's in softball right now. She just graduated 8th grade. So
Okay. Moving on to high.
between
Well,
that,
in Illinois, is eighth grade to go to ninth? Is that high school, or does high school start in eighth, or does high school start in 10th? Because I know it varies even within states. Like sometimes, depending upon the districts and stuff, it'll vary or change depending upon what's what. So is she
yeah,
technically going to high school?
she'll be in high school next year. Yeah.
Okay, so she should be like a freshman. They'll
Yeah.
classify as freshman high school. See,
Yeah.
that's usually how it goes. But there are cities, there are states too, even that like either they'll start high school in 8th or 10th grade. Like they don't actually do it ninth, which I grew up ninth through 12th was high school. Like that's what it was. That's when we went. So well, that's cool, man. How's work going? Good.
Yeah, it's been really busy, that's for sure. My program's about to grow again, so we're getting ready to roll out new teams and shit like that. So,
So they taking you out to Vegas again soon?
I just got back from Milwaukee actually, like a week or two ago.
Oh
I
shit.
was out in Milwaukee for work, but I'll probably go. I went out to Detroit for some leisure. I'll probably go out to Detroit one time this year,
Okay.
um, and then maybe Seattle because one of the teams I work with is out in Seattle. So
Okay.
I'm finally traveling a lot for work.
Yep.
Kind of makes it stressful for Molly, but
Well,
it's not gonna adjust.
sometimes that's part of you guys got to work together through that shit. And that's just part of like your growth in your career and everything else, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
just
for sure.
those steps you have to take. Like that's just kind of part of it. But Nothing wrong with it, man. It's good to be busy. It's good to, it's good them want you to travel. It's, even like we talked about back when they brought you to Vegas and stuff, like the
Yeah.
opportunities are there and it's taking full advantage of them. So that's good, man. I mean, it's been weird for me lately. Like, work's good, but it's like it just seems like I don't know, man. Like I have some really dead days. Like, and it's not. And we brought another guy on to like extend the hours and like give me some more leniency. So like if it's 2 in the afternoon and I feel like I got my weekend, or it's 2 in the afternoon on a Wednesday and I have something where I don't want to work the rest of the day, I just say, hey man, you want to start early? Boom, I'm gonna forward you all the calls. But even then, like week by week, when you see that anytime I would take time, whatever, he's getting sales too. It's worth his time, but it doesn't feel like it's like capitalizing where it used to be, which is very strange because the industry we're in, I get there's a lot going on in the world. I get people keep screaming of recessions happening and this and that and the influx and the inflations and the price increases and everything else. But we were never impacted ever. Even when the pandemic was the heaviest it was hit, we probably had the highest increase in business. So it's weird because it's like people need vehicles. Businesses need them, even if they're cutting people, whatever. They still need, if their shit's not working, they need it. They need it fixed. They need to be able to get their work done. They need to get to do what they need to do for business. So I don't know, man. It's strange, but I just kind of waited out. Like that's again, I'm taking a long weekend this weekend. We're gonna head out to the cabin early tomorrow afternoon. So take Friday off, enjoy the weekend, and I mean, I guess I'm just in some cases I kind of feel like I need that anyway because I worked, didn't have anybody helping forever, and worked on vacations even all the time. And
Yeah,
it's
for
nice
sure.
now to have breaks, but at the same time, when you're used to making a certain amount on average a week, even you know what I mean, it's just like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel the same when sometimes it's not always there, and it's like fuck, and it's like it's so inconsistent. It's not like it's always like that. It's like there's some great weeks, and there's just some really down weeks, and it's like what the fuck do you do? But
So I mean, what have you shared about like you and the old lady? And some of it's hard. I haven't been able to keep up a lot. I've been working a lot of like usually by now.
yeah,
I've been working like 6 to 6:30. I've been working a lot of 12s.
okay, okay,
Go
yeah. I
out.
mean,
No.
so
Uh,
what was the question as far as you being
so
busy?
I haven't been able to keep up on you too much, but so like what's the situation with the old lady? How many kids does she have? What's she do for a
Oh
living?
shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you ever shared any of that with like any of
So
the chat.
yeah. Yep. So she's got two kids. And you
Right.
probably well, yeah, we're on Facebook too. I know
Yeah, I've
like
seen
Twitter, I don't
pictures.
usually post as much anymore or whatever. And like, I
Right.
used to not be at all on Facebook. And then I kind of just went on Facebook when we started dating because that's really only place she was on, social media wise, etc. And then she kind of got on Twitter and whatever else because I was there. But um she's got two boys, 13 and 9. Um Parker, the 13-year-old, he's a handful. He's a teenager, he's just like my son was, just like Evan was when he was that age. Like, just wants to. Me and him battle it out almost every night with arguments. He loves to argue. I keep telling him you need to be a lawyer because you just want to argue, 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 argue. And it doesn't even matter. You could literally be in an argument with him, and you could tell him, okay, Parker, it's good, man. You won this, or this argument's over. It's fine. And he wants to get like last words in. Like he'll just keep going about whatever we're talking or arguing about. I mean, it's all good. Great kid. And then Jackson, he's a 9-year-old. He's been in Taekwondo for, I think he's on his third year now. He just got like his black tip on his red belt. So he's only like two belts away, I want to say, from black belt, but he got to put the time in every time. So they
Right.
can only belt test in a wide span, and they have to show up and actually, show up to their classes. So he
Yeah.
goes twice a week. Every week we bring him Tuesday and Thursday night. And he's got to do sparring. He's got to learn different forms and stuff. And he's got to do these forms like when he belt tests, and then he's got to break boards like with specific type of, like they tell him, okay, if he's at this level of belt, you have to, like he had to do an axe kick and break the board this last time, which was just the other weekend, to get his red tip. But he's a good kid, man. He's he's chugging along, and yeah, I mean,
He's young, but like, what if he grew up and wanted to do like at 16, started wanting to do UFC and like training like that?
So it's funny you say that. He's not mentioned necessarily UFC, but
Right.
he's very committed. Like when he enjoys something or he likes something, he's very committed. So like with Taekwondo, he's very committed to it. I mean, literally, he's 9 years old. He could possibly get his black belt in Taekwondo by the time he's probably 11, roughly, like 2 years, roughly, if he put in the time. Like, and he actually tested. It's going to get harder and harder for him every time, but pretty young to get that. He's also brought up the fact that he wants to do jujitsu, and I told him I would do it with him when that time comes. So he wants to get his black belt in Taekwondo. We'll let him focus on that, and then we'll transition to jiu-jitsu. So it's funny you bring that up. I don't know that he would ever do like actual MMA fighting or anything, but who knows? When he gets older, maybe that's something he'll inspire to do,
And it's kind of that conversation, people talk about kids playing football long term, what are the health effects and stuff. So I'm curious to see like the newer, younger generation, they're getting into MMA a lot earlier.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And how parents adjust to that. Like, is that something,
I mean, dude, if it was me and he really wanted to do it, and he was, was 16, wanted to start training, couldn't fight till he was 18, but really wanted to do it. Fuck yeah. And I'd be like one of his mentors or one of his coaches. Like I would literally be one of his cornermen. I'd fucking be right there and be like, let's go, like go to town. Like every time like they spar, they do sparring, like he's got sparring gear and stuff, and they do sparring.
Yeah.
We put the, whenever I put his headgear on, like I give him his mouth guard, put his headgear on, and I tell him every time, like, now what are you I heard you, babe. I said, now what are you going to do? What are you going to do today? And sometimes this guy's a little bit bigger than him. I said, you have to be the aggressor, always moving forward. And like, and then I'll put his helmet on and I'll tap him on the head and I'll be like, go get him. And like, he's like, and then he just goes at him, like it's funny too, because in his class, he's actually the highest belt in his class. Like his time class that he goes, there's other class times that happen throughout the night, whatever. And there's kids that are in higher belts, obviously, but for his age and where he's at, like he kind of leads the class. So like every day when they start, like they're all in line, he's at the top of the thing because of where he's at in his belt. He does like the Korean whatever, like and they all bow and he says it, like he has to say it all. And like, so going forward now, he has to, for some of his stuff to get his next belts, he has to lead class. He has to do exercises with them, like 3 exercises to get one of his stripes now. Like he has to be the one that leads it. Like he's basically like a leader. And for his age, I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I've always, Balls, I've always followed MMA. I've always followed mixed martial arts. I always felt like it's, I used to be involved with jiu-jitsu a lot and training. And back in the day when I went through my divorce, like it's very good for kids. It's very good for people. I mean, discipline wise, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to discipline yourself. It teaches you how to, adapt to things. It teaches you to not utilize it when you shouldn't. Don't be somebody that's they teach you to not be a bully and not go out there and just, oh, I know this, or I'm good at this, and I'm just going to go pummel somebody. No, it teaches you to defend yourself, defend people that you love that are, around you. If something's going on or something's going to happen, it does, again, it's not teaching them to be a bully. And I think that's a big difference in a lot of things, where a lot of people, they just think that somebody's in something or they do something, so they're going to go and just start mauling people or just knocking people out or kicking people and knocking people out with kicks. Or no, that's not how it is. Like they literally are there to try to enforce, positivity and discipline and, only utilizing it when it's absolutely needed. So I don't know. I mean, again, I think it's crazy.
It's an art form, it's an art form that has to be respected. It's kind of funny. Did you follow all the Live Golf stuff that happened? Did you hear about it? How Live Golf got, they made an agreement with the PGA now
Really?
Live Golf as part of the PGA.
Really?
And it had me thinking the next one the Saudi group should go after is a competitor to the UFC.
Yeah.
They're all complaining about money, right?
Yeah.
The Saudi investment fund has all this money. They could set up those huge
Well, yeah. I
John
mean,
Jones.
yeah,
Yeah,
they could do that. They could. I mean, they could literally do the bubble fights that the UFC worked with them on, like over in Abu
they
Dhabi
just
and wherever else. Like,
yeah. I don't know
absolutely.
like if how they have to get their license to be regulated because that would be the thing. It's like it has to be regulated through the commissions, right, for
Yeah.
fighting.
Huh.
But it crossed my mind, man. If they wanted to do one, that's the next one.
Well, what's up with what was up with that video on like the PFL or whatever with Francis and whatever and fucking John Jones? Like they were literally at that same fight. It was like a PFL fight. Like
Yeah,
not even a UFC. And they were like basically doing like a face off, like talking shit to each other.
right. Yeah, I don't know if that'll go down.
Uh,
Dana's not gonna let
well,
unless
obviously, unless
he's
they're out
not
of
gonna let
contract.
go. Yeah, he's not gonna let go of John
Unless
Jones.
they're out of contract. That's it. Period.
Mhm.
Like, yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. That's why I was a little confused even watching. I'm like, it's almost like they were doing it as like a promotion for PFL. And I'm like, dude, how? This isn't gonna happen. Like Dana White is not going to let this go down unless they're all out of contract. What's up, Pittsburgh, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Justin, I see you out there too, man. Where you were out this way, where exactly were you at? Let me know in chat. But yeah, like what else was I gonna say? I don't know, man. Just fucking a lot of crazy shit. Like, do you think Connor's gonna fight? Like, there's all this talk about they don't even know if he's actually gonna fight Chandler or if he's gonna fight or
So I'll tell you this: I love Connor. You
yeah,
know I'm a big Connor fan. But if
yeah.
he fights Chandler, I think I'm gonna pull for Chandler, man.
Well, and some people think that he might be kind of afraid to actually fight him. Like he's not showing it, he's not whatever, but like
I
he's
don't.
maybe trying to
Nah,
avoid it a little bit.
I don't
No?
think that. I just think he's at a point. I don't know what happens. Like he's at a point in his life, like if he's never gonna get a title fight, Connor's made all his money.
Well, of
Does he?
course. I
You
mean,
know what I mean? Does he need to fight anymore?
no, no,
And
but but you know what Nate already said after this boxing match with Jake, he wants to go back to the UFC and he wants that fight with Connor again. Yeah,
Connor
so I
wants
don't
a
know.
belt, man.
Wax
Connor
man, what's
wants a
up, buddy? Good to
belt.
see you, buddy. What's that?
Connor just wants the belt. He don't want. He don't care about that fight.
I don't know, man. I don't know. When you're tied up 1-1 in a with a Diaz boy and they have a lot of history and beef on each other, I think they might want to jab out that last one. I don't know. What do you think? You don't think
He
so, huh?
he'd have to lose to Chandler. He'd have to lose to Chandler because if he beats Chandler, he's calling for the title.
But are they going to give him the title if he beats
Dana
Chandler?
will. Dana will give him a shot
What's
at it.
Chandler's ranking right now? Do we even what is he at? Is he like at
He's in
2
the
or
top.
4? 2 through
He's
4? He's not a 1, but is he a 2 like a 2 through 4?
well, no, it's probably you're talking 155, right?
Yeah.
So
Unless they're going to do it at
Makachev.
170, unless they're going to do it at 170.
Well, they can fight at 170, but Chandler's ranked 155, so he's
Right.
probably in the top 5.
Okay.
Makachev, Gaethje, Poirier.
Well, then you got Gaethje and Poirier fighting for the BMF belt, and Diaz is like, those guys don't deserve that fight. Bunch of nerds,
Yeah.
you know. He's always talking his crap.
Dude, I love that about him.
What's up,
I'll
Jackson?
fuck
How you
you
doing,
up,
buddy?
man.
What's that?
The way he talks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I mean, dude, he's uneducated, man. Like he's never that's one thing though. That's one thing. Like people always want to jab at the Diaz boys for how they speak and their speech and whatever. But if they don't understand where they've come from and that they're not educated, they didn't go through school. Like they went through like their first 6 grades of school, if that. They didn't have any family. Like they literally grew up on themselves out in
Right.
fucking
That part
Stockton,
of it,
California. Yeah, I mean,
I just laugh because everything out of his mouth is like, I'm gonna beat your ass or you're a punk bitch. It's never like
Did you
There's
watch that?
never respect behind it to anybody.
Did you watch that press conference with him and Jake, the first
Yeah.
one? What's up, 25
I
Perez?
saw
How you
the
doing, buddy?
highlights, but
It's so hilarious though. Like Nate's like Ariel's like interviewing him. And did you hear that reporter that's like, "Hey Nate, I got something for you. Hey, I'm a boxer too, and I think I'm about ready to whoop your ass or something." And Nate's
that
like,
kid
"You
from
better
Better.
watch your mouth, boy." Like he's like, "You better watch your mouth, boy." Jake's like, "Oh, he's nothing. I just brought him here to mess with you, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, well, he better watch who he's messing with because he's about to get knocked out." Like, but then he goes, and Jake, what's up with this, man? Like this little thing we put together here. Where's all the people? Like, there's like 10 people in this building, and there's supposed to be some big fight. And he goes, what's up with the promoting? And Jake goes, I don't know. Weren't we 50-50 on all this? Where's your people? Like, whatever. And he's like, and then Ariel's like, Nate, you know that this is just like the pre-sale conference. This isn't the actual press conference. The press conference, it'll be huge and there'll be a bunch of, he's like, yeah, there better be. Like, this is a joke. Like, it's funny. It's funny as hell. Like, I don't know. I enjoy them. I enjoy the hell out of them. I think Nate and Nick have always been good for the UFC. I mean,
yeah.
unfortunately, the THC thing years, with the commission and all that shit's kind of put a damper with like Nick and whatever, but it would have been nice to not lose all those years of him not fighting in the UFC, but it is what it is.
There's even a guy, Matt Riddle, I think.
Oh, yeah.
His name.
Yeah, he went into the WWE. I know what you're talking about. He was in the Ultimate Fighter, like Ultimate Fighter 2 or 3 or 5 or something. I know exactly what you're talking
about. 7. I think he won Ultimate Fighter 7 or something like that. But he ended up having a UFC career.
Yep.
But 2 of his wins got overturned for marijuana.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's bullshit.
Dana just cut his ass and never brought him back from it.
And you know what's crazy is that they say that's not an enhancement. So if you're saying somebody did something, I know it wasn't legal through the commission, whatever. I get it. You overturn it. But it's almost like when you do that, you're literally saying he was using PEDs or enhancements that made him win the fight. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't know. I think it's kind of goofy. I think it's kind of corny, but it is what it is. I mean, everybody's got their own opinions. Everybody sees it differently. There's probably people in here right now or people that watch this that'll be like, yeah, I don't agree with anybody doing that or being able to do that. So good for him getting that. But yeah, I mean,
I've been watching that, obviously, the Ultimate Fighter, because my boy Hubbard's on it.
Yep.
He dominated his first one, so
yeah.
Hopefully he wins the next, man. See him in the finale.
That'll be cool, man. That'll definitely be cool. How about that main event the other night, last weekend? Kanye or whatever. He threw the most in a welterweight or middleweight fight. He threw the most significant strikes in a middleweight was it middleweight? A middleweight fight.
Oh, Jared Cannonier?
Yeah, and he would did it early on. Like he messed up. He messed that Benetti up or whatever his name is. Messed him up.
But Vittori's got
what up? Meet the Mets. What up, brother? How you doing, man?
Vittori's got a skillet head, dude. If you just throw a punch, you can't knock him out, but
yeah,
he got punched in the head a lot.
Wow, did you see his face?
He
did some interview or something afterwards. His face was mangled, dude. I mean, you can only imagine when somebody throws, the record of significant strikes in that weight division, insane, dude. Absolutely insane, mind blowing. Damn, I don't even know how many it was. I didn't get the count. I didn't hear how many it was, but I mean, it's got to be a pretty good number because there's quite a few decent striking fighters that have fought in that division in the UFC over the years. So very, very, very shocking, very surprising. Let's see what else. Who else is on tap? What else is big in the UFC right now? I know you're big on the UFC more now these days, so trying to stir your brain a little bit.
That Fight Island card is absolutely stacked. But I think that's the one that's got Gaethje on it, isn't it? I'm not buying a computer. Check up UFC 291. I think that's Fight Island. It's next month. The card is absolutely
Gaethje. Here, let me do this. I'll actually throw it up on the. I'll share it on the screen. Do a share. Present, share screen. Bam, bam. All right. So here's what we got. We got Gaethje, Poirier. Let's review. Where's the rest of the card though? Oh, it's down here. All right. So we got Poirier, Gaethje. Ooh, Blanchard, however you pronounce it, and Pereira.
Yeah, Blachowicz and
Ferguson and
Poirier.
Bobby Green. Let's go.
Well, hey, here's pretty interesting one about Blachowicz, or however you say his name, versus Pereira.
Watch this, yeah.
Pereira obviously beat Izzy, right?
Yep.
But Blachowicz is the only one to beat Izzy at 205. What they're gonna fight at. So if Pereira beats him at that weight, what happens there? But yeah, you got Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green, Paulo Costa.
I would almost put money on Pereira over Jan. It's tough, but I'd almost do it. He's a plus 120. He's minus 150. I would almost do that. Bobby Green and Ferguson, man. Do you feel like Ferguson's done and he's over with, or why are they giving him a plus 290? And why is Bobby Green so heavily favored? Minus 350? Are you kidding me right now?
Bobby Green looked good in his last few fights.
Oh, I trust me. I know Bobby Green's a beast. That's why when I saw these two guys right now, I said Ferguson and Green, that's going to be a brawl. Like that should literally be a stand up back and forth. Who knocks who out, basically. Like, come on, they're just going to keep fists up. They're going to hit each other. They're going to catch each other. They're going to smile at each other. They're going to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's going to be. That's how I envision that fight. That's how I see that fight.
The only thing I'm nervous about is Tony's chin now.
Yeah, well, ever since Gaethje, man, he's just not been the same.
And then he took that Chandler up kick right after that,
too. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And ever since then, man, he's been kind of rough. So, Paulo Costa versus, I'm not even going to try and say his name.
Leskarov or whatever, yeah.
That's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
Michelle Pereira versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis is on the, I think he is the first fight of that card. Or I think he might even be on the prelim.
Wow.
But the whole card, you got.
Yeah, I mean, look at. I didn't know Chesia still was even fighting. I thought he was just doing some
Michael Chisa's fighting.
Yeah. Holland, huh?
Go down too. I think the whole card's stacked, dude. Smellisberger's on it. Huh. It's just Claudio Ribeiro's on it. It's going to be a really good card.
Giles, Wood. Huh. I mean, it does. Yeah, it does look good. It does look stacked. For sure.
I think there's one before that, though, too. Or is this the next? No, because the last one was Nunes, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't that 289?
So is there another UFC before that?
Let me look. UFC 290, or maybe it was already. Not sure. Oops.
That's the big one, though.
Why does it not want to pull anything up?
It says right there, Volkanovski.
I know, but then it doesn't pull anything up. Like, it doesn't pull anything up to click on. Like, nothing.
Click on Yair Rodriguez. See what it goes to.
Fight history. Active.
Shows his last fight.
See, it doesn't even show the fight. Why?
Click on
what?
Events on your upper left.
Oh, yeah. So that was fight night. Fight night. Oh, yeah, 290 right here. Why does it... That's so weird. Why it wouldn't just pull it up when you searched it before. All right, so yeah, I got Rodriguez, Volkanovski, Moreno. Damn, Panjoa.
That's that fight right there too. Whitaker versus Duplessis. Whoever wins that fight's gonna get Izzy for the title.
That's crazy.
Duplessis wants to fight Izzy, and Izzy wants to kill Duplessis because he's saying he's the only real African on the roster.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty deep.
that card's pretty good too because it's got like Bo Nickel on it, Trayshawn Gore.
Hooker?
Yeah, Dan Hooker versus Jalen Turner. That should be a good fight.
Bo Nickel, Gore. And then look at this prelims. We got Robbie Lawler on a prelim card.
And Sean Brady versus Jack JDM.
Wow. That's fucking
Jimmy Crute too.
Early prelims. Jesus,
yeah, there's a lot of good fights.
So weird though to see this guy right here on a undercard. Like, look at this. Like, just 21 wins by knockout, 1 win by submission, 12 first round finishes, 29, 16 and 0. But he's fought a lot of fucking champions. Like, that's part of the problem too, I think, with when you look at guys' records. A guy like this who's definitely made a name for himself, and you kind of look at it and you go, 29 wins is a lot, like, just as a pro fighter regardless. But then you go 16 losses, and then some people, like, if they haven't really watched him fight or they haven't really been a part of his career, like, you're going, yeah, I mean, he's good. He's winning. He's winning more than he's losing, but he still lost 16 fights. But you don't realize, like, a lot of those losses that he has are against either champions, like in a championship fight or whatever, like, or a contender fight. So he's literally, his losses are at the high end, at the top end, and yet he's beat a lot of guys in those high end fights.
Who's he fighting on that card? Nico Price?
Yes. Nico Price.
Yeah, Nico Price, up and comer.
Yeah, newer. Yeah, definitely newer to the UFC. Yeah, for sure.
So here's the thing. It makes sense as far as it goes for Dana White to put that on the prelim.
Yep.
Because it's probably on ESPN, and that is a perfect fight to lead into your pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You can get extra buys, whatever.
Yep.
That card's a good card too. So
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, man, it's got some good ones. Got some good ones definitely coming up in the works, which is always nice. So
yes, sir.
You've been watching it. You've been getting them all, or watching the free ones and the pay-per-views, or what have you been? Oh,
I've been watching it all, dude. That's my main thing I watch. I don't really watch baseball. Like,
it's hard to watch baseball these days. Like, I don't mind if I'm going there to the game, like I'm going live, I'm at the ballpark. It's always fun, a part of the experience, the environment, being out, especially here, being outside, et cetera, especially if it's nice out. But man, like, watching it on TV it's tough. It's very, very, very tough.
I don't get how people can do it for like 162 days. Like, watching the game, not a chance.
I mean, if you got nothing else going on and like nothing else you enjoy watching and nothing else to do, I suppose. I mean, it could be enjoyable, for some people, but not something I want to be doing. Like, there's a million other things I'd rather do than sit and just watch a game on TV, like a baseball game. Like, even basketball, like, lately has been getting a little difficult for me. Watching even the finals, like, I watched them, but I was kind of watching them and not watching them. Like, had them on, but not really full attention, like, to the game.
See, and I think people hate me for it, but I think baseball should do it where it ends in like September.
Yeah. No,
have your playoffs start earlier, end it earlier, or push the season back. Something. There's way too many games.
Did you read or hear about what one of the Van Gundy, the ex basketball coaches? They're both broadcasters. They're two brothers.
Right.
It was Stan and Jeff, right? I don't remember which one it was. It was either Stan or Jeff. But one of them said they should get away with halftime. So there should be a break in between. So they should get like 5 minutes or something to go if they have to go to the locker room, use the restroom, do whatever, right? But then 5 minutes, you get like 5 minutes and you start the game back up. He also said I don't think there should be free throws, I think is what he was saying. So, like, if there's a foul and it's like an offensive foul, it's 2 points. Like, the team gets gets opted the 2 points or whatever for that foul. Like trying to find ways to speed up the game and make it, a little different. And I'm like, what, dude? They'll never change the game that way. That's never gonna happen. Like they're always gonna have that. There's a reason why they do these things, right? The halftime show is just part of the thing. Like people that go to the games, like that's part of the thing. It's like when you watch the Super Bowl, even when you're at home, they show the halftime show on Super Bowl because it's a big deal. Like they make it a big deal. They're not gonna eliminate all that stuff. I mean, as much as it might sound good. I don't see it ever happening. I don't think it would ever happen, but could be wrong.
That or like you have to use a timeout by a certain spot in the game because like the fourth quarter at the end of the NBA is the slowest spot.
Oh yeah,
we all know that.
If there's a minute on the clock, it's a half an hour, right? It's like
So like make it to where even I don't care if you're down. Like
John's, what up, brother?
Everybody would be under that same rule. You know what I mean? So you only get one timeout for the last 2:30 of the game or whatever.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It comes down to strategy. When do you use it? Like, do you save it for a final shot? Do you use it earlier? That kind of shit.
Yep. No, I agree. But, and with the whole with all the moves again in the NFL this year too, it's just gonna be fucking insane, dude. Like, honestly, I usually keep up with all that stuff like real well. I got to look over shit because there's sometimes I'm surprised when I hear this guy is with this team now. And I'm like, what? Like one guy, Jamal Williams, right? He's with the Saints now. Is that where he's at? From Detroit. That was a Packer that was with Detroit Lions last year that scored a bunch of touchdowns. It was like about to break some record for touchdowns or something last year. I think he's with the Saints now. He was just talking about Taysom Hill. He was actually talking about Taysom Hill, the backup quarterback that runs, like the running back dude. He's like, Taysom Hill is he was like giving him super credit. He's like, he's one of the biggest, best running backs. Like he's just a beast. I love watching him like in practice and blah, blah, blah. He was like giving him heavy praise. But I'm pretty sure Jamal Williams, and that's one guy that I did not know went to New Orleans. I had no idea. Oh, went with Carr. So Carr went there, obviously. And so did Jamal Williams.
Do you know what I found crazy?
Where's Kamara? Is Kamara still there? Did he get dropped or did he get traded or what?
Kamara might be in some shit still.
Oh, God. Okay.
Remember he beat that person up? Yeah, he beat somebody up. And
he's out thugging
Kamara
again.
might be in some trouble.
He's out thugging again. Should I be a running back in the NFL and make millions, or should I go thugging at the bar for a night and beat up somebody and get in trouble?
What do you think about it? We always thought Alexander Madison would go to a different team and be a starting.
Jimmy copy someone's notes. He's late to the party. What was that, Balls?
I said you always thought Alexander Madison would be a starting running back with a different team.
I swear
How
to
do you
God,
feel about the Dalvin Cook move?
I swear to God, I've been preaching and saying, I thought actually last season, mid-season, they would have gotten rid of him. And I know that I know for a fact, because there was reports that they had talked to a couple teams about possibly trading him mid-season last season, but it fell through. It didn't go through. So here's my take. If we talk about NFL teams in the past, I mean, how many years back that have won a championship or have been championship teams? How many of them have had like a top 5 or top 10 even running back on their team? That's compared, running back wise, stats wise, compared to the rest of the NFL. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, are you kidding me? Like they're almost running back by committee, right? They had that Pacheco, the rookie Pacheco, who did great, but he was a running back by committee. He wasn't a top 5 or top 10 running back in the NFL last year, stats wise. He wasn't even close. Most teams are doing it. It's a pass league. That's what it is. You got to be able to run the ball, but it's a pass league. So if you got good receivers and you got a quarterback that can whip the ball, you got a running back that can stand back there and, get a couple handoffs, maybe catch the ball out of the backfield a few times, I think you're okay. I mean, in reality, if you're trying to get where everybody else is trying to get to, which is ultimately the Super Bowl. Now, would I love to have Dalvin Cook on the team? Absolutely. But, he wants the numbers he's talking about now since they released him. What does he want? 15, 20 some million a year or some shit? Like running backs are they're so disposable. Dalvin, like they're so disposable in the NFL because they don't have long careers usually. They get hurt, they're out. I mean, anybody can jump in, anybody can fucking, take a hand off been a running back that's decent. I honestly feel like Madison, whenever Madison stepped in, I think he did just as good as Dalvin Cook did. In fact, like I said last year, I felt he would go to a team that needed a 3-down back, a strong back, and that he would probably get traded to a team like that. It didn't happen. Dalvin now leaves. We take Madison. There's probably reasons why those trades fell through, or we decided not to do it, or the other team did, or whatever. But it was probably thinking in the back pocket of, you know what? Dalvin's going to be on a contract deal this next year. We have a guy that obviously is proven he can jump in and play this role like Dalvin has. If we can't get Dalvin to take a pay cut to match our salary caps, etc., we got Madison. Let's go. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm all right with it. Did Dalvin didn't get picked up anywhere yet? Did he? I don't think he did. I'm kind of surprised Miami hasn't picked him up, but I think again it goes back to what he's wanting. Like nobody wants to pay that kind of money. I mean, he's already been in the league how many years? 6 years, 5-6 years. I mean, what's the lifespan of an NFL running back? Like, how long do they really last? And how quick do they? Well, now you hear Adrian Peterson's trying to make a comeback too, right? What's up, Jay? How you doing, brother? Saints are my new second team. Jimmy Guns. I don't blame you on that, brother. I'd be doing the same thing, man. They're stacked. They got that Olave, that young receiver. Who else did they pick up? They got some other good talent too at receiver. There's like 5 boss running backs who want this. Yeah, and that's just it, Guns. But at the end of the day, and in my opinion, like those running backs are disposable. Like there's a lot of guys that can come in and step up. A lot of guys that can come in and step up. Somebody will get hurt and he will get paid to step in. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Just follow my quarterback, he said. I don't know if I lost balls or he's having a connection issue or what, but it's all good. If anybody else wants to come hang out, I'm probably going to get off here soon. I just figured out we wanted to test and see what issues were with the internet. Dan, got a call. Oh, okay. Well, if you want it, you can use a link to pop back in if you want to. Otherwise, we can end this soon. It's up to you. Either way, I've been on for almost an hour, 50-some minutes, so really just wanted to say what's up. We had KFC, brother. That was KFC. It's dinner time, buddy. We ate at like 6:30. What do you mean? That's dinner time. Okay, sounds good, balls, man. I appreciate you joining. Yes, it was like 6 o'clock when we got back. 5:36. Yes, dinner time. Ask mom. Ask mom. Ask mom. But yeah, I mean, Guns, going back to Raising Cane's. Nice, dude. Raising Cane's. I'm always out by Raising Cane's on Thursday or Fridays, depending on when I'm going to get my check. They got one over there by where my buddy lives. Let's see. Yeah, so you got, like I said, Dalvin Cook. Yeah, you got a couple running backs, and it's like, dude, they're disposable, man. They're not. People aren't looking like it's not a run heavy game anymore. And that's why they do this running back by committee thing. That's why they do all sorts of shit like that. Bought a refrigerator finally for my birthday. Got delivered this morning. They called at 5:30. Damn, dude. Were you up late too? So you had to get, well, you're always up at 5 or 6. So what the hell? I'm surprised they're delivering it that early though. Like usually a business wouldn't deliver something until at least 8 your time. Was planning on cooking chicken tonight though. Well, you were going to cook chicken. You got Raising Cane's instead. So what the hell? Then my damn AC compressor. Jesus Christ. Guns, you're having everything. Everything's failing over there. What's going on? I.e., Alex, I don't even know what you're saying, dude. Are you high or what's going on here? Oh, ice maker. There you go. All right. All right. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I just figured I'd pop in. No auction this week. Was going to do one for Paul, but he was not feeling so great. So, and I didn't want to get stuff together to do another one this week. So, majority of the stuff should have been shipped out, unless it was a hold or whatever. There's only a couple stacks here of people's. Otherwise, everything else should be either there already or on its way. Probably do something next week. I don't know if it'll be for me or for Paul, because we are supposed to do one this week for him. He's supposed to be getting a bunch of stuff organized, so it's all together, teams and sports and stuff. So it's a little bit easier for us going through. So, guns, yeah, I don't ever really worry about you though, bro. I mean, I know you gotta run, you gotta go, you gotta. But yeah, I got a couple. I got some Gunnar Henderson cards, Flaherty, Prism, some Carroll. Not much. I think it's not much at all. Like 12.50, $12. Nothing huge. So, but yeah, I do got you. Got a little stack here for you, brother. It's fine. You don't have to send now. You can send later, whatever. We can keep stacking, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter to me, brother. So, let's see what else. I'm not worried about you. I know you're good. We have a. I probably would already sent it to you too, because a lot of times I'll send stuff out before it's even paid. But I just being so busy, I'm like, fuck, everybody, anyone who's paid, they want it out, ship it out, whatever. Like, and that's about all I got time for right now. But other than that, so your ice maker went out, Alex, or what? Or are you replying to Jimmy Guns' AC compressor going out in his truck? You're just saying ice maker. Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with that, brother. No worries. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna probably roll out here. Maybe go enjoy the rest of the evening. Appreciate y'all popping in, just kind of hanging out. This is just kind of a hangout BS bullshit stream. Haven't just done one of these for a while. Just kind of nice to just chill and BS. Guns, I really think. Yeah, it is. Yeah, AB is high as a kite. Guns, it really is. Well, especially when you got a bunch of other shit going on, dude. It's not so bad if you got like really nothing else going on. You're just like, I'll just package this shit up. You know, it's almost fun, but it's not fun when you got a bunch of shit. You know, you got to get done. You're like, fuck, I got to get this done too. I got to get this stuff out. Love you too, Guns. Appreciate you guys. Alex, appreciate you. Jay, Balls, appreciate you being on here tonight, brother, with me for a while. Who else popped in here? 25 Perez, Jackson, Waxman, Pittsburgh, Justin P. What up? Anyone else that was watching didn't comment? It's all good, man. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, guys, have a good, well, I'm going to say weekend because tomorrow's afternoon's the start of my weekend pretty much. Long weekend again this week. That's why I'm on here right now, just seeing what's up. But I'll see you guys soon. Check out the shorts too. Been dropping a lot of short videos, not really card related, dogs and stuff, funny stuff, things I catch. But yeah, check out the shorts and check out Guns. Guns, you're gonna be doing an auction this weekend. I don't know if he'll be live. He's not always doing them every weekend lately, but he should be live here either this weekend or probably the next weekend. Make sure you check him out. And till next time, guys, man, I love y'all. Be good, be positive, and we'll see you soon. Peace.